Well, we're here again. I think this is part 3. So I've had a fair bit to do. I have got quite a bit done as well, I must admit, in between. So, and I didn't record it, which, idiot, do you mean? I did quite some digital. My star lane, didn't work at all at Brands. It won't pick it up or anything, so I didn't know what lap times I were doing or any of that. And yeah, you're not allowed to use them on track days, but wanted to use it for racing to get a rough idea of my laps. Didn't work. Plugged it into the laptop, done a firmware update. I didn't know. I was waiting actually for a cable which I didn't need. Instead, it's just on a little USB stick. So I updated firmware. Every lap in UK's on it now. I've done that. I've also done my fan. Now let me just get my nose cone, because what I've done is, before I put that on, now I've wired into there. So I've wired into there. That goes to the fan, and then round here, you see that? I've got a connector on. I'm not going to attach my nose cone, I'll just hold it. But under here, I don't know if you can see, look. So I'm going to connect them together. You'll have to bear with me. So if I connect them together, so every time I take my nose cone off, I don't have the trouble with. So that's that. Put a little micro switch here, which is what I'm waiting for, but watch this. Hopefully sorted out my fan, my overheating issue. So I switched it on, listen. Get in. And I put it on this side so that if I'm messing with clutch on that, I can just, as I come in, switch it off and on. Sorted. And it's quite you know, I could take it off if I need to. So when my nose cone comes off, that just clips apart. Good. That was. It weren't a 2-minute job, but it weren't an hour job. Let's put it that way. That was quite good. So I did that. Did my star lane. What else have I done? Oh. Went to my caravan. I left loads of my caravan this time. At this minute, it's a nice sunny day. Got my wheels out. That's my spare wet. So that's my spare wheel. I've got a TD slick. I'm going to swap that over because I want to leave this RR on, but I want that RR for actual qualifying and race 1, if it'll last till race 1. So I don't want to ruin that on the test day, so I'm going to put that TD back on for test day. So I'm going to change a tyre. I'm going to use that. I've just got to clear it so I can get to it. Got all my tyre stuff there if I get stuck with that. Brought my compressor. I'm going to put a 44 sprocket on. That's got a 45, the bike's got a 43. I'm going to put a 44 on and see how that is. Got a new brake fluid cable, because I'm going to drop my forks and that might not be long enough. So I've got a spare cable, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Got my tub, and got my fuel remover. I'm going to show you exactly what I do with that. And it's because I haven't counted how much fuel I used in the last race. So if I go to my notes, in my notes, camera's all over. I'm having a good couple of days with camera. So I put 8.5 litres in, did 26 mile, which is 8 laps plus 2 sighting, 10 laps. So all I do is got a quick release fuel. Now, a measuring jug is here, and on the side it's got obviously litres. Make sure you write the right one. Now, when I do mine, that just keeps this pipe straight, so that tube holds it. Now, I used to measure this wrong. Now, what I've learnt is I have to put this down the back, down there, and that gets to the bottom. I've measured that so you can imagine over time I know how far. But I used to put it in and it weren't gathering the full lot. And then it's old school. So I do this after every race, and it's so that I know how much. And literally siphon it out. And then once it starts going through, fuel's coming out. And once it's done, I can measure it. And this is all I do because I've not got a fuel gauge on there. The fuel level don't come up, the light don't come on. Look, it don't move at top, because what I did when I made this pipe, I actually heated it, and then I always keep it in this to keep it roughly straight. And it don't take it, saying that, when I've overfilled it, I do tend to, it does take a while for it to get out, to be honest. But other than that, a couple of minutes, I know how much is in it, and then I always put it back in as well. So just make sure it's down to the bottom, take a reading, and then I can work out how much I've used. This is one of the easy jobs, to be honest. I do it after every race. Now sometimes I can get it to balance. Oh, there you go anyway. Just make sure. Yep. Not like the tasty petrol. That comes out. I always put it straight back in. Then it keeps it roughly straight. So that's that part done. And then it's just a case of reading how much fuel's in. So put it down. And so on my notes, race 2 I put 8 litres in, did 10 laps, 26 mile, and I took 1.5 out. Race 3, because I thought I'd go faster and use a bit more, 8.5 in, so I did same mileage, same laps, put 8.5 in. Now I took 1.5 out, this is litres, 2. So I've got it bang on. So my fuel in, so 2 litres out, and I will put that on my paperwork. So look, 2 litres out, so I know I am using that 0.6 per lap, which it just helps. It's one where I know, if I'm not being funny, is that 2 litres going to make much difference? I can get it less. Like I said, in race 2 I only got 1.5 litres left in, so less weight to throw around and all that sort of stuff. I don't want it to be full, do I? Let's put it that way, racing. If I can work it out, so I've got a litre, 2 litres in there maximum at end at race, I'm happy with that. I don't want it to be running out, do I? Let's put it that way. So just put that 2 litres back in, put my lid back on, and I know there's 2 litres in. Now I've got a track day, so I'll probably fill it up. I'll brim it and then fill my track day. It's not track day, it's a test day, isn't it? So I will brim it, because I don't know Croft, so I won't be going hell for leather. Let that run down and then test it. Right, next I think I'm going to do the, God, I forgot, shocks. I'll do shocks first. I'll be back in a bit. Right, so I'm going to do the forks. Now, what I will say is I've got stuff ready. I've dropped it off at front fork. And literally, what I've got is, I've got a trolley jack underneath with a board on. I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to undo bolts, handlebars, top yoke, handlebar, and then what I'll do is I'll jack the bike up so it's got full fork travel, and then I'm gonna, where's my tape measure? Tape measure, I said I was gonna do 5, but I'm gonna do 10mm, just like on my R1. I can always change it back at the track, see how it feels under braking. Under braking, if it's stable, happy days. If it's like wobbling around, doesn't feel stable, I can like bring it back up, I can put it 5mm. And it's just to get it to turn in quicker. As I'm watching my videos back, because I do watch them, I've noticed I do run out wide. And a lot of the time I'm saying, come on, you know, come round. And it's because the bike, it's just going wide. And it's not letting me turn it like I want to. So yeah, I'm going to have to alter the suspension to match. I do know that already. In fact, I might go and approach the suspension guy at Croft. I think it's 80 quid for a day for him to do suspension, so I might go and do that. Because I've messed with it and all as well now, so I might get that one. Right, I'm going to time-lapse it. So I'll time-lapse it, and then I'll be back once I've got it time-lapsed. Well, quicker than I thought actually. Really quick. Just a couple of things I've got to alter now. What I will show you first off is it worked quite quick. So look. So I've dropped them both. Now what I didn't realise is, don't know if you can see, there's markers. Brilliant. So, and when I put it on, I think they're 3mm because look, I was showing as 9mm. Same on that one, 9mm. So I'm happy to try 9mm. So they're both exactly the same. I've tightened up them markers, I've tightened my handlebars up. Now, good thing about it is, if you have a look in here, look, just there. So that line was marked there. Same on the other side. And it's so that I know where handlebars go back. Look, there. Happy days. So, tighten these bolts up as well. So everything's pinched back down. What a quick, easy job that way. Right. I'll just get it back on its stand. I'll be back in a bit. So, next part, tyres. I'm going to change rear tyre, put that new sprocket on. I'm not going to show you that. I don't even think I'm going to time-lapse that. I think, look, my tyres are outside, sat in sunshine. My tyre warmers, I left them in the caravan. I've got all my tyre changing gear. If I need it, I am going to use the machine because I want to get used to that. That's only while I'm at home. I do it manually, which I'm going to catch you next time. I were going to show you at Brands, but a friend, I ain't seen him for 15 years, Glenn Cullis. He came down, we had a chat. I didn't record, we just talked crap for about 3 hours. Brilliant. So my tyres are just warming up outside. Compressors here. I'm going to do walt tyre. I'm going to do tyre. I'll not keep it on camera. Doing. I'll just come back to it when I've got the tyre done. Catch you in a bit. Right. So, like I said, I weren't going to video it. I've changed tyres. Took rain tyre off. That's the RR. That's what I'm going to use in the race. And I've put the TD back on with a 44 sprocket. Where's the old one? The one that was on there was a 45. I marked it 45. I think I've got two 45s now. I might have to order another. I'll see how 44 goes. I'll see how 44 goes, and I'll see how 43 goes, and see which one I prefer. I can always order another one. Right, because I've changed tyre. So that Race Tech is a 260/17. The radius of it is 335.9 millimeters. The one I'm putting on is a 255/17. Now this is where it's really awkward, and I only realised this at Donington last year when I changed the that rain tyre. I put that on, traction control didn't work, and it's because the bike needs calibrating. So I've got my RCK3, that's where this one comes in. So unlike the GS, the RCK3 allows me to adjust stuff, as you can see. So I've already logged onto it, I've paired it, I've took the data from it because I don't want to change anything apart from the wheel diameter. Oh, I weren't even in that. So if you have a look, I'm going to go to dynamic traction control, and here we are. Wheeler controls on medium plus. Tyre radius front, that's fine, I haven't changed that. So I need to click that, and that, if I change that to 325.9 millimeters, click off it. I don't want to change wheeler control. I'm not going to mess about with any of this stuff. Shift assist, pit limiter, and then what I need to do is go up here to data, right data control unit, yes. Okay, and that should be that wheel calibrated, the wheel radius calibrated. I'm just going to double check it. So literally I'm just going to read data, see what it says. Read data 325.9, there you go, I'm happy with that. So then I can switch that off, and that's that part done. I do need to make sure I take my laptop because I am going to be putting that back on, so I'll need to do that again at the racetrack. Right, so I've done that, it's only a case of putting fairings back on. Let me go and have a look at that base, because I did, let me find it. I've just got crap everywhere, and I'll show you what I mean, because if you're on this one, you must have seen the one where I've repaired this. Look, oh, that's solid. Yeah, I've got a bit of black spray. I'm just going to put a bit of black spray on it, drill it, put it back on. What I'll do, I'll probably time lapse that. You don't want to be watching that as I'm doing it. Catch you shortly. Right, that should be me all done. Bike's all back together, as you can see, all solid. So this time it were a bit more than between set, but I've done 2 races. So I've given it water, I've changed to the water wetter, make sure that's filled. Took a few goes, I think. Needs bleeding right, you know, like getting rid of air bubbles. It just seems to have some air bubbles in. Fix the fan, sort of. At least I've got a fan. Hopefully that'll save it overheating. I've done the tyre, I've done the oil. I've just put some grease on the chain, which I use white grease. Put it on, leave it to sit for a couple of days. I'll wipe it off in a couple of days with just an old rag. And it's just to do that. Dropped it 10mm. Well, it's 9mm, not 10. But dropped it 9mm. See how that handles. Still got to put all this shite back in my caravan. When I bring caravan round to load up, I'll do that. Right, that should be me all set. I've got to go and buy petrol and all that sort of crap, but electric bike's done. It was a bit more this time, a bit more work on it. Hopefully I've sorted out them issues I had with... God, I ain't got a clue. Hopefully I've sorted them issues out with the quick shifter, the blipper. I hope that works. I hope that works now. Never been to Croft before, hence I'm putting the TD on, and then I'll change for qualifying and race. I'll change onto RRs. TD will do just to pot around, get used to track. If you're enjoying it, if you're still following, come on. If you've watched others and not subscribed yet, down there somewhere, just because of subscribe, come on. Stop being, stop watching it just for the sake. If you're watching, you'll get the updates all the time. Next round is Croft. You'll probably hear from me on way to Croft, to be honest. Right, catch you later.